I have my file here, ready to go. And over here, I have my 2 sheets, also ready to be cut. The top layer is cut, it's looking good to me. And what I'm gonna do is take some white spray paint and I'm going to spray both of these pieces. And then I'm gonna let them dry. You can also use an antiquing wood stain. In my personal opinion, it is a little bit too light for the look I'm trying to get here, but it is an option. Once everything is dry, I'm going to take some plain gray acrylic paint, one of my paint brushes, and I'm going to dip it in a little bit of water, and I am just going to move it along all of the different crevices in the design. I usually start light and then I go in a little bit darker because I really want to exaggerate all of these different crevices. I want to make them pop. So again, I am just going to paint over it. Sometimes I add a little bit of water. I take a paper towel and I just smudge it in because I really want it to blend. Now the fun part, I am taking some sandpaper. This is literally a set I got from the dollar store. And I'm going to come in here, and let me just turn this around a bit. And I'm going to come in here and I am just going to start sanding. And as you can see, it is like blending it together. I also like how you can see little streaks. I mean, it might be a little bit hard to see in the video. You could probably zoom in on it when you're watching this, but it shows these little streaks. And I really like how it looks weathered. And the more that you sand, the more you can actually start seeing the natural color of the wood. I'm going to do the same technique for the bottom of the design as well. If you really want to make these features pop, you can also go in with a little bit of black paint. I'm just using some plain acrylic black paint that I had on hand. And I'm just going in and I'm trying to get some more details because I really want these areas to pop. Same technique that I'm using with the gray. And if you have any leftover pieces, I have one of these tools. Again, I just got it from the dollar store. And I just pop those little pieces out wherever they may be. And I think there's only a couple here. So I suggest adding a clear coat or some kind of sealer because it is acrylic paint. It can kind of rub off and scratch off if it is not sealed. So I do like to seal it. And if you accidentally just get a little bit too excited sanding and you have some marking, like over here we have some of the natural wood exposed, you can actually take a little bit of white acrylic paint like I am doing here. Using the same technique, I'm just gently going to go over that area and it kind of acts as a filler. I did add a little bit of water to blend it, but it does blend nicely. And once we get it all blended, we can actually just sand it down like the rest of the sign. I use a respirator and these filters when doing any kind of painting or staining. I do recommend a full face Honeywell when possible. I have some nitrile gloves on and I have my stain over here that's open, and I'm just gonna dip a little bit of my paper towel into it and I'm gonna rub it all over the base of the sign. This is for the bottom layer of the sign too. To antique the darker stain, I'm just going to use some of this antique white that I have, and I'm just going to rub it on. And as you can see, it adds a really nice gradient effect. And I'm just going to follow this entire process for the rest of the pieces of the sign. And to finish it up, I'm just going to use some sandpaper, kind of go over it. This wood is a little bit rougher. And now we have the base of the sign all complete. And here is the completed sign. Look at how nice this looks. I do really like the look of antiquing some of the darker layers because I feel like it just goes really well with the white and the gray on top. And even if you sand down a little bit too much and you get some of the wood looking through like down here, it still looks really nice. It goes with the whole aesthetic and the feel for this particular style that we're going for. These files are available on the Homestyle Customs website. I will include a link with this video in case you'd like to make your own sign just like these.